What's going on, guys? This is Joshua here, and we're once again doing a live watch along. And this one, I've been pushing this back more than once because I was supposed to do this on my birthday month, but things got caught up in the way. But if you could tell by the title of the video, and sorry if you can't see my face right now because I am currently charging my phone as we're doing this, but we're here to do a live watch along for Man of Steel, which is one of the more divisive Superman movies besides Superman Returns. Now, I do have the timer on 0 minutes, so any of you guys can go watch and comment. And also, this is also a Q&A. That's why I included Ask Joshua Anything. So Elliot is the first one to show up, and he says, "Hey, how you doing? I hope you enjoy this." Now, I will not be playing any music or stuff from the movie, as again, it again the rules of copyright, and also if if you want to watch the movie with me or ask questions throughout the movie, feel free to do so. Also, if you do have your own copy, well, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, or HBO Max, or digital, or Netflix, you can watch along with me. And with that being said, this is 2 hours and 23 minutes. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, let's go. So we have the Warner Bros. Logo in the style of the Kryptonian. You have the Legendary logo, which Legendary they also did help Warner Bros. With the Dark Knight trilogy as well as DC and Syncopy. The DC Comics logo go before we add the new logo, because the last time we will see this logo is in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, which I also did a live commentary for with some of the other guys, but it was on a different channel. And here's Syncopy. And so here we are with the opening scene. I followed you on Letterboxd. Thank you, Elliot. Now here is the opening scene where we see the mother of Kal-El or Clark give birth to her baby. And the voice of, and there is a voice here who is working by Zack Snyder, and that is of course Carlo Giorgino, who worked with him on Watchmen and Sucker Punch, which Sucker Punch I don't hate, but it's got a lot of problems. Russell Crowe is Jor-El. And here she's giving birth to Superman. And there he is. And there's the baby Kal-El. Which I know a lot of people, and here is the world of Krypton. People say it is too much CGI, and it is too much. Have you seen Justice League Dark Apokalips War? Yes, I have. I have seen Justice League Dark Apokalips War. I do have a review recorded for it on my other camera, but I don't have access to it yet. But that review will be coming once I do have access to it back. But I will say Justice League Dark War is a really good movie. Basically, the Avengers in the game of the DC animated universe movies. And now he's meeting with the council. And here we have, of course, the attack on Krypton. A lot of people say this is a ripoff of Superman the movie when it's really not. And there's General Zod and his friends, and he's attacking the people of Krypton. A lot of people do not like Michael Shannon as General Zod, but um, Michael Shannon is General Zod. As compared to, as far as DC Cinematic Universe villains goes, he is the most. He is the one who has the most motivation and he has the most fleshed out of the villains because it's not Terrence. I know this isn't the Terrence Stamp Zod, but and people they do laugh at how over the top he does get, but you do have to understand this is a different interpretation of General Zod. But Michael Shannon, he does a great job here, even when he does, even with the many times in the movie that he does scream. But it's a nice question there, Elliot. Great visuals here. Cinematography by Amir Mokri. A lot of people say this movie looks gloomy and depressing. You want gloomy and depressing? Go watch a drama. They were just doing what they did with Batman Begins there, which it doesn't 100% work in parts of this movie, but this is still. Do you know who Wolf Entertainment is? No, who is he? And you see the destruction of Krypton. Also, other people may be talking about DC fandom. So I really do hope if not DC fandom, then somewhere down the line, we do get an announcement on a sequel to Man of Steel. Hopefully, it's been 7 years since this movie came out. This came out in June 14th, and we have yet to get any kind of sequel or something. People complain about Zack Snyder, how he doesn't really care about Superman, but when you really watch interviews of him, he does care about these characters. He does care about Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. He was just doing his own vision, and some people, whether you for that or you not for that, and I'm in the former. I'm for it. But no, I don't know who Wolf Entertainment is. Who is he another YouTube channel? He's a horror reviewer YouTuber. His online name is Catastrophe. Okay, I'll check him out. And you see the whole landscape of Krypton underwater. We're 6 minutes into the movie, so 8 minutes into this live. It's 7 minutes into the movie. We have 2 people watching, so whoever the second person is, thank you for watching and joining. And also, people they do another complaint I do hear is that the music is not Superman related, but this music here isn't. The music by Hans Zimmer in this movie is great. People say it's too much Hans Zimmer-esque. It doesn't feel like Superman, but he didn't want to use the whole John Williams theme. This is a reboot, people. That's the difference between people who are pessimistic and people who just want to flat out hate this movie and call it bad. You're not looking at the big picture. I use laptops. I have two of them. One of them is a Chromebook, and the one that I'm using right now to watch the movie on is my older one, which is the Dell Latitude D520. But as far as this goes, I am using my phone to do live. They're basically saying that they do have to have Clark go to Earth, and the mom is telling him that they're not going to accept, may not accept him. Which I get what Zack Snyder was going for here with this movie. He wanted to he wanted to. So I heard After We Collide was rated R. LOL. What the F? I did see that movie early, even though we don't get it until next month. But I was able to watch it early, and I do have my Rants review recorded of it, and I will be editing that review and getting that review up to you guys, to you, so you can see my thoughts. But After We Collide, and also the third and fourth movie is also confirmed too. So, yep, just more and more of this After franchise. And they're basically having to send him away to Earth, which is basically like in the first movie. It's not a complete rehash. They just act like. I will say my criticism here. One, I do feel like that there are far too many flashbacks here. You could cut down on some of the flashbacks a little bit in this movie. So when you do make a Man of Steel 2, that's one thing they can improve on is less flashbacks. General Zod and his minions attacking. Feor. Russell Crowe, he's great. Does a great job as Jor-El. So Michael Shannon again, he does a great job in his role, even though he does scream a lot and scream out most of his dialogue. People say isn't. I will say screaming out most of your dialogue as a villain is not always 100% worth. But when you sometimes actors scream out their dialogue as a villain, it's a way to make you feel threatened if you do it right. And Zack Snyder, he did it right here. And you have both of them fighting here. Wow, she's sending the son away. And people say the action doesn't mean nothing if you don't have a story. There is a story here, people. You didn't complain. People didn't complain here when they talked about Dark Knight Rises the year before this. There was action, but it was more focused on the journey, the story. So it just shows how really depressed, how pessimistic people really are nowadays, especially towards movies like this and Avengers Endgame and stuff. Even Captain Marvel. And here, the son, she's sending Kal-El away in the cruise ship, no, in the spaceship to Earth, and he basically stabbed his own son. No, he stabbed. Zara just killed Jarrell here. Mm-hmm. The last thing he ever sees is his son, being sent away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you have Superman's Kryptonian mother going to him. So after we collide, it wants to be like 50 Shades now. Yep, pretty much, Elliot. Pretty much. But it's pretty much like that in the books. And plus, the fans of After, they are basically getting what they wanted, what they didn't get with the first movie. Where where basically the first movie was PG-13 and people complained that it wasn't like the book. So yep, I guess you could say the After fans. I'm not a fan of the After. I haven't read the books, so is there any graphic nudity in it? I wouldn't I wouldn't go that far, but it is pretty R rated as far as cursing and the romance scenes go. And so there is the destruction of Krypton, and then the gods of Krypton is Zod putting Zod on trial for him killing Jor-El. And he's basically saying out loud, "I will find him" multiple times, which I do laugh at this part, but I get it. He wants to find Clark and basically kill him. I will find him. He says it multiple times. And then it has him frozen in Kryptonian ice. The effects here are, like I said, those effects are really cool, and having them sent away to Kryptonian prison. What's up, Joshua? Hey, Tatum Maester. And by the way, if you guys are subscribed to Tatum Maester, go check out his Road to New Mutants review series. He just recently uploaded part 7, where I collabed with him on X-Men Days of Future Past. So you guys feel free go check that out. So it's good to see you, Tatum Maester. So far, we're 18 minutes into the film. And there is the destruction of Krypton, and the mother basically dying. As which I will say, this seeing this in the trailer, I thought this was, and when they actually showed it in the movie, I actually really liked it. Who's your favorite X-Men character? I did answer this in my X-Men 1 commentary I did 3 years ago, as well as my Dark Phoenix live watch along I did back in June. But my favorite X-Men characters are Wolverine, Professor X, um, Storm, also Mystique, Rogue. Also, I will also say Polaris and Lauren Strucker from the Gifted TV series. And so there's the Krypton destroyed as the alien spaceship goes to this alien spaceship goes to Earth. We're about 20 minutes into the movie here coming up as it crash lands. And yeah, it crash lands on the farm. Crash lands on the farm of Smallville. And now we have Henry Cavill as Superman working on the Fisher boats with the beard, basically. Feel free to leave questions in the comments section down below too, Mr. Taylor Maester. Right here, you have Henry Cavill, and you can see Henry Cavill. He is basically saving the one of the fishermen on the boat, but he just basically looks at Clark, aka it's Superman, like, why'd you do that? Which I gotta say, Henry Cavill, underrated actor, is a great actor. And I do think he does great as Superman with what he's given, but the main criticism I keep hearing from his Superman is that he's not jokey enough. They don't let him smile. He's always have to be depressed. Well, in defense there, here's my defense here. When you are a superpowered human being from another world, and you're having to deal with people thinking different about you because you are a overpowered superhero from another world. People are not gonna really what's the word I'm searching for? People are not really gonna be wanting to accept you as a superhero with so much power who does pretty much things that Clark does in this movie. And Cavill, he is my favorite Superman. He is the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. I love Brendan Routh, and I'm interested to see what Tyler Hoechlin does in Superman and Lois next year, but I just hope that show isn't another case of the syndrome there. Do you like Inside Out fan 2001? Yes, I do. Also, this shot in the trailer here with Superman underwater. And here we go into another flashback, which again, I will say there are too many flashbacks here, but it's necessary. And and everyone's looking at Clark like he knows the answer. And the color palettes in this movie, I like the color palette. It's not depressing or emo. I think many people just say that because they wanted a Superman reboot with some heart to it. Even in school, he's basically treated differently. Have you seen any of my vids? I haven't watched any of your videos yet, but I will get to them. It's just been pretty busy here. And basically, you have Diane Lane as his Earth mother, Martha Kent. And all the kids are making fun of him. The teachers making fun of him, calling him a freak because he is a super powered being. Zack Snyder, there are some emotional moments here. But if you want to criticize the way Cavill Superman is acting, you should really blame the writer, David Goyer, not the actor and not Zack Snyder. Which, in the Snyder Cut of Justice League and the theatrical version of Justice League, you will see the true Superman that you wanted, because it's normally built up. And now he is back. Now we got come back to an adult Clark Kent. You basically see Clark with Superman. And you see that he's basically just going around town, just seeing, just walking around town, trying to find his place in the world because he is not human. And now we have another flashback of him on the bus where people are making fun of him. And then you hear he's trying to make friends, but it doesn't really work. And then the school bus crashing under the wire. Do you watch Survivor? No, I don't watch Survivor. It's not my thing. Thank you. And you see the bus is going on the water, and Superman, he's basically saving, well, young Clark, he is saving these kids from drowning, especially the girl. And Superman, he just lifts the bus back up to safety. Which I did like that. That was a callback to Superman Returns, where he lifts the boat out of the water. And he goes back under the water to save some more kids. which I do like this flashback, and then you have here him just sitting right there, and then the mother of Jonathan, the Earth Mom, Jonathan and Martha play with Jonathan played by Kevin Costner. Go after it. Then a bunch of stuff. Dancing Wolves, The Bodyguard, Draft Day, which I recently watched. And he sees that Clark isn't there, and saying her son was on. Now, this is the conversation where he's telling him not to use his powers when people get hurt, which I do understand this complaint here that he shouldn't be using his powers in front, but do you like Iron Man 2? Yes, I do. I did review it back in 2016, and then I re-edited the Iron Man trilogy review that I did of all three of them, and gave it an individual review before Avengers: Infinity War Part 1 came out. So I do like Iron Man 2. I think Iron Man 2 is the worst MCU movie. None of the MCU movies are bad. It's just some more I like more than others. But I love all 23 of them. Yeah, I'm praying for Black Widow that gets released. Because, yeah, if it doesn't get pushed back to 2021. But this is an emotional moment where he's saying that Clark is not his son. But the stupidest thing to come out of this conversation is that the next time something bad happens, to just let him die, which that's not what Superman would do. So I can understand that criticism there. Again, it's just life lessons. Superman, he needed life lessons on Earth. So you get your point across. So because if someone saw an actual other human being saw you actually use your superpowers, yeah, would not be in the right place for you. But yeah, I like Iron Man 2. I don't think Iron Man 2 is a terrible movie. I think people just go overboard on the hatred for Iron Man 2. They even go as far as saying some of the other MCU movies are bad. I've heard a few people say the Black Panther is not good. All three Iron Man movies are top 5 MCU. Yes, they are from Fanatic. Well, the first one is. And I do love Iron Man 2. It is my favorite of the trilogy. And Iron Man 3, with all of his problems, I do like Iron Man 3 a lot. Like I said, there's not a bad MCU movie for me. Network 98 says WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Selena, the TV series on Netflix, are my most anticipated shows of the year. Oh, that's right. I did forget. I did forgot that the Selena TV show was coming out. I'm curious to see how they're gonna do it. WandaVision is my most anticipated movie. It is my most anticipated Disney Plus MCU TV show. I am really anticipated with that. People have put Iron Man 2 up there with X-Men Origins Wolverine and Batman and Robin. Like, it ain't that bad. You want to talk about worst superhero movies? You want to talk about worst superhero movies? Well, you want to talk about worst superhero movies ever? Venom. Well, for me, Venom is the worst comic book movie ever because Venom, that movie was not only offensive to me as a Spider-Man fan, but I was pretty offended as a fan of Venom. The fact that you took Spider-Man out of the movie for no apparent reason whatsoever, and then you see guys basically harassing her, and Clark is just saying, "Don't do that." Which I do like this. He's actually sticking up for the lady, and he's actually working there. But you want to talk about worst superhero movies ever? Fan 4 6 is one. Venom, like I said, that movie is offensive to me as a fan because one, you take out Spider-Man. Two, you make Venom into something he's not, which he's not PG-13 friendly. So you pander straight to the kids so you can do a crossover with him and Spider-Man. And on top of that, Riots is a big disappointment as a villain. And then you get the writer of the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy writing it, which is your biggest mistake. That's a no-no. With a better writer, with a great villain like Riots, and with an R rating, Venom could have been better. I would have been more easier on Venom, but I am pretty harsh on it. And you just see he destroyed this guy's truck. Film Fanatic said top five movies for me: Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. I could tell from your profile pic there. Braveheart, Shawshank Redemption, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly, and number five is The Breakfast Club. But the reason why I think they do Jonathan Kent's death the way they did is because it will still make Superman hopeful. And that leads me into what I want to defend. The whole theme of this movie is basically choices and consequences. So that's the whole point of this version of Superman in this movie. The whole theme of this movie is choice and consequences. In this movie, Clark, aka Superman, he makes choices that he does and then he chooses to act on. And then he has to deal with the fallout, which is the consequences of those choices. And it's his ability to make these decisions confidently and his ability to learn from the choices that he does and endure the fallout that makes him Superman. So the choice that they did make here, in which making the choice to let his father die, was him trusting that Jonathan was right, that Clark had to stay under the radar longer. So, sure, that's basically what the character of Superman is doing with Henry Cavill's Superman, because it is a point of guilt, but he's able to recover and learn from that. And that's why I think a lot of people dislike this version of Jonathan Kent and this version of Superman, because they thought he was selfish. But I personally don't agree with that. Jonathan, he loves his son, but he's looking at the big picture, and he doesn't want him to reveal himself until he can handle all that details without compromising his own values. And that's what I think the theme of this movie does. That is my defense of Jonathan Kent and this version. And by the way, we have beautiful Amy Adams as Lois Lane. Here we are.
Let's go wash the dishes. She's gonna let you know.
Okay.
So finish it up. Cause she got homework she gotta do.
She can go ahead and do it. I don't mind.
Oh, Leah?
I told her I don't mind.
She come.
My favorite DC films are The Dark Knight trilogy, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Shazam, Batman 1989. I actually think Venom is okay, but it's fine. I respect your opinion. Yeah, that movie made my worst of the 2010s decade. Yeah, it was at number it was almost number one. Between that movie and the first After movie, when I made my worst movies of the decade of 2010s, I had to choose which movie frustrates me most and which movie pissed me off most. Venom was the movie that pissed me off the most because as a superhero fan, I was really hoping that Sony will step up and do a good Venom movie. Whereas after, I was more frustrated at that movie because you have a toxic ass relationship that is not unhealthy, not mental, and only based on sexual chemistry with Tessa and Hardy. And I was supposed to do a watch along for it after we collide, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. But we'll see. But yeah, after, like I said, if that review and my worst of the decade, and when I do put it in my, when you do see my worst movies of all time in December for my channel anniversary, you will see Venom and After on that list respectively, because I'm not done trashing After yet. I want I'm basically out to, to take to take to take every single piece of my frustration out on After. And there will be a Venom live watch along with my friend Kenneth next month. So, with that being said, yeah. 38 minutes in. And you see, yeah, it's fine if you enjoy Venom, it's perfectly fine. It's just for me, I just don't like that movie. If it was connected to Spider-Man in some way, and if it was R-rated and it had a better script, and if Sony did not hack that movie the way you did, I would have been more forgiving. So at least if you have DC to make a shitty Venom movie, make it R-rated. When it comes to these after sequels, if you have the decency to make unnecessary after sequels, 3 of them, make it R-rated. Freddy vs. Jason was R-rated. That movie got ridiculous at points, but it was still R-rated, and I still love that movie. If you see my top 100 favorite movies of all time, it was in 3 parts. It's in the second part. Blade Runner 2049 was R-rated, so there was no reason for Venom to be PG-13. For what? All the shit Venom does is just pussify anyway. So here's my ranking of Denis Villeneuve's movies that I've seen. Number 5, Enemy. Number 4, Prisoners. Number 3, Arrival. Number 2, Sicario. Number 1, Blade Runner 2049. That's actually my favorite. It's actually my favorite Villeneuve movie. And yes, I do like Suicide Squad. I did a review of the theatrical version and the extended cut, and I did an audio commentary on it back in 2017. And now you see Amy Adams here as Lois Lane, which I think Amy Adams is one of the most attractive redheads I've seen. And also, she's a great Lois Lane. A lot of people complain that she's not a redhead, but no, I mean not a brunette because they made her into a redhead. But I like that change. If you're gonna boot it for a new generation, be different. And then Superman is basically healing. And then this guy sleeping. And then you see that a spaceship is crash landing here. And it is, of course, General Zod and his minions. 42 minutes in, and 42 minutes in, and we have 1 hour and 40 minutes worth of movie left. Yeah, Lois laying out in the snow, and helicopters coming up. And now here we are at the Daily Planet here. Laurence Fishburne is Perry White, which I like that change. Are you anticipating Morbius and the Eternals? Yes, I am. The Eternals, I am, because it's part of the MCU. And Morbius, I'm anticipating because it might have the chance of being a good vampire superhero movie. And plus, people get on to me for anticipating Morbius and the Spider-Woman movie directed by Olivia Wilde of the Sony Marvel Universe movies, but they get on to me for not anticipating the Venom movies. Well, Joker is what Venom should have been. And I will be doing a watch along for Joker as well. Next month.
Ooh, so see how you have to do this thing. They take his cup. You don't even know where his cup. They just left in the car. He was there. Yeah, yeah, he was there. Oh.
And now you have a scene with Jor-El and his mom. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to get my other charger because my phone is on 11%. So hang on there. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, I am back. Bill and Ted 3 will make my best of 2020. Definitely one of the best movies of 2020 for sure. So, but my favorite of 2020 is I'm debating on which movie will be the number one because we have The Invisible Man and we have this Netflix movie that I checked out and reviewed, which was the half of it. And so, charge my phone here, and we will continue this. So, and there, Clark is now seeing all the Kryptonian amazingness here. But yeah, Bill and Ted is definitely one of the best movies of 2020. I really enjoyed it. Is Not the Five Bloods is another Netflix movie that I ended up really enjoying. It's called The Half of It. It's a Netflix movie directed by Alice Wu, starring Leah Lewis, Daniel Deemer, and Alexis Lemire. It came out back in May, and it was a really surprising movie, and I really enjoyed it. So that will probably be my number one. If not Invisible Man, we'll have to wait till December because a lot of stuff has been pushed back in the heart, but I'm still finding a decent amount of movies to make a best of. The Superman suit. And here is Superman's first fight, which is one of my favorite moments in the movie. Spider-Man 2 is my third favorite Spider-Man movie. It is definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man movies as well. And now you have Superman in his new suit. A lot of people complain they don't like the suit because it's not bright enough or it doesn't have the trunks, but this is a different interpretation of Clark. And so here he is, Superman's first flight. Because he was asleep.
Oh.
And Superman is flying around in the snow. There's another criticism that I keep hearing people complain about, that Superman, he doesn't smile. He does smile a bit here. It's just not as much as you want to see. But it's just, people just complain it's too much. You need to be complaining about, and yet people want, for some whatever reason, from what I heard, they are somewhat, people are basically trying to defend the Netflix movie they just dropped, Cuties. For what? That movie. Speaking of Spider-Man, I bought the DVD of Far From Home. That is good news to hear. Far From Home is a great one. And then Superman here flying around, and there he is flying up in the clouds. Superman again. We need Hans Zimmer's music here for Superman's first flight. Flying around. Around the water. It shows you how fast Superman is flying around. But yeah, Henry Cavill, he does a great job as Superman. And see, he's smiling. So what is the problem? People saying he's not smiling enough. I guess y'all people just will not stop until you get Man of Steel sequel that is 100% lighthearted and campy. You can't do a Superman movie without being too campy nowadays. Even you have to be willing to do some changes nowadays. And then Lois is investigating, trying to about Clark. Did you cancel Netflix after Cuties? No, I am still support. I don't have Netflix, but I do watch their movies. But I still support Netflix, but I will not support that movie. Netflix. I'm not giving up on Netflix like a lot of people are. Um, Netflix is better. Netflix, you better than that. You better have something that will redeem you for the rest of the year. Joey's movie blog. We have Joey's movie blog, who is one of my YouTube friends, and he's also part of the little Six Shot Studios thing. He says, "I'm currently playing the season finale for the Outcast. I can't wait to read that. But it's nice to have you in the stream. We're 56 minutes into the stream and 53 minutes into the movie." Network 98, Elliot did Cats Make Your Worst movies of 2019. It didn't make my worst of 2019, but it barely escaped. It basically, if I was to just have make the top 23, that would have been number 22, because the two dishonorable mentions in that list were for worst movies of 2019 were Cats and Black Christmas 2019. But if you have seen my worst movies of 2019, you will see what made that list. What's your opinion on Cars 1? Disney Pixar's Cars 1. This is a bit of an unpopular opinion because I am a fan of Disney Pixar movies, but this movie here, when it comes to Cars, 1 is the only somewhat watchable Cars movie, but all three of the Disney Pixar's Cars movies, I don't really care much for it. Especially Cars 3 is the worst. It made my worst movies of 2017, and it is one of my least favorite Pixar movies. Now you have the flashback here with the tornado where Jonathan dies, which again goes into why I have to say the whole theme of this movie being Clark makes this choice, makes it so the choice that he makes to let his father die is basically trusting Jonathan that Clark has to stay under the radar longer. So again, it does go into that choice where he decides to let himself die with the tornado. So you do see that, and he does take care of, and he does. He just lets himself die there as he is saving the innocent people from the tornado, which is not showing Jonathan is selfish. It's basically showing that he trusts Clark and knows that he has to stay under the wraps a lot longer because Clark does say later on, "My father believes if the world found out who I really was, they would reject me." And his foot is stuck, and then you see tornado just sweeping everything out. And he's trying to walk, and he tells Clark not to save him and to just let him die, which a lot of people just really hate this part in the movie. But I really like this part because it shows that John. Ooh, that really does hurt. And now you see the guilt that Clark is feeling. So Cavill, he is doing a great job here, and you see this whole thing with Lois and Clark talking. And here she is back at Daily Planet. And you see Crowe and Perry White talking. And people say it's boring. This movie's boring. No, it's not boring. Have you seen Mid-90s? If you check my letterbox, I think I did. So I'm not sure. If I did, you check my letterbox in my film diary to see if I did. But I'm pretty sure I did see Mid-90s.
Go. You gonna do this time to get attention. I get a book on my eyebrow.
Yeah, so mosquitoes in each other on the door every day. She's talking to us, yo.
So Nathan Woods' his birthday tomorrow.
Super good.
He'll be 14. Yeah, because you're not hurting.
Movies G. What do you think Scream 5 and will you watch Scream 5?
She's gonna kill,
Well,
Lila. Yeah, so they can bring in her fucking dog. She'll tell them to stop so she don't get that water with.
I ain't going out. I was not know.
Scream 5.
I
What
know
do
they
I
can
think
stop
of
and stop
that?
screen time.
Well, as far as Scream 5 goes, I'm interested. Yeah, the directors are ready or not, but without Wes Craven directing and Kevin Williamson writing it, it is going to take some getting used to. But as long as you have the original cast and the new cast of actors you have, I'm fine. Just as long as you have a good movie. And am I worried that the movie is going to be out in January in 2022? No, I'm not. Because we have seen some movies in January in the last few years come out and actually be good. This January we had The Gentleman, and um we had Bad Boys for Life as well. And Underwater wasn't too bad. So I'm not worried about a movie Scream 5 being out in January 22. One, because they ain't shot nothing, and two, we don't even know if it's going to be better than what. So I don't see what the freak out of putting that movie out in January 22. And we have Harry Lennix, who in disguise, which I have been reading, he is basically Martian Manhunter. Which I don't know if that's true or not, but I am excited for the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I liked the theatrical edition of Justice League, the 2 hour cut, but it did feel studio mandated. And I did feel like with an extra couple minutes, you could have fleshed out more with Cyborg and the Flash and Aquaman, those characters who haven't gotten their solo movies yet. And there will be live watch alongs for Aquaman, Justice League, and Birds of Prey coming out. Because after this, I only have 3 DCEU watch alongs to do. So, but the scene with Martha and Clark, I really do like that scene because it's a nice, sweet moment between the two. And then they see that it is a spaceship coming. It's a UFO, but it's really General Zod and his minions once again. And you see Clark is here with his mom. And he sees that there's a UFO. and the UFOs are gonna try to attack his mom. And I like the way this movie is shot and the way this movie is framed. There is a lot of close-up shots, but it doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me about Godzilla King of the Monsters either. I think people they just bitch about the camera work in King of the Monsters because it feels more like Michael Bay Transformers. Which here's my ratings on the 5 movies. Underwater is Bad Boys for Life is a 8 out of 10. Underwater 6.3 out of 10. The Raw Missy 2 out of 10. Ooh, that movie. I saw it and that was bad. The main actress is attractive, but wrong movie. Onward 9.3 out of 10 and The Invisible Man 10 out of 10. I did review Onward on my other camera, but I will those reviews will be a little late, but they're coming for Onward and Buffalo. But I do have some other reviews coming. I do have my Nolan reviews are fully edited. I just haven't uploaded it yet. I'm 16. Well, I'm 22. So now here we have that the Kryptons are seeing a message that they find Clark Kent where they will destroy Earth. So we're an hour and 7 minutes. We're 67 minutes into the live stream and 64 minutes into the movie. So General's Eye here, and so all we have left here in with this movie is at least an hour, at least a few more minutes left with the movie. Some people are. So an hour and 5 minutes there. You see that Mr. Lois Lane is at home in her house. Gorgeous Amy Adams. I like her more than Kate Bosworth. This is an unpopular opinion. I don't think Kate Bosworth is that bad, but she didn't. She's not horrible. Kate Bosworth wasn't horrible in Superman Returns. She did decent, but Amy Adams is better. Lois Lane. And then she's going. Find the FBI. And then they are basically arresting her and searching her. U.S. Air Force. Yes, the product placement, they do crash into an IHOP, but you have General Zod and Superman getting ready to fight, and they're two powered superheroes. So what do you think is going to happen? And then you have a bunch of bullies bullying him and beating him up because he's so different. And then they're telling him to fight. And the two kids are basically looking and like, No. And then the girl is back. Then one friend is just helping him out. This is probably the only friend he actually cares about. And then Jonathan Kent.
You gotta go? Okay. All right, I'll see y'all later. I gotta go.
See you later, Jemiah.
Bye.
But yeah, we're still here. So I do appreciate the comments and questions that you guys have all been sending to me, especially Elliot Network 98. Thank you for watching here. And we're gonna let's keep going. And you see him in the church.
You're not going outside.
But anyway, sorry about those little interruptions. I will be very soon. I will have a room to myself without interruptions. It's not my fault. It's not much I can do at the moment with these interruptions. So if you guys are watching and you do hear distractions, just bear with me here. This is what best I can do for now. But you see Clark at the church talking to the pastor about what's going on. Also, happy National Video Games Day, everybody. Happy National Video Games Day. I forgot about that. Happy National Video Games Day to everybody out there. If you have a video game, whether it's PS4 or PlayStation 3 or Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo DS, base Xbox. Here's my rating on the 5 TV shows this year. Space Force 7.2 out of 10, Love Life 8 out of 10, The Owl House 10 out of 10, Glitch Text 10 out of 10, Love Victor 8.6 out of 10. I really like Love Victor. And you have the Air Force, and then they question him, they arrested him and question him for it, and have him talk to Lois Lane about Superman. They ask him, was it's not S. Which this conversation scene between the two, I really do like this. Are you a fan of Justice League 2017? Yes, I am. It's guys' problems. Like I said, it does feel studio mandated. It feels like there was some things that got cut out and changed. And I think with all the stuff that went on with this movie between Dar and Joss Whedon controversy and the fact that they did have to work with what they were given, considering Zack Snyder's leave on the project. I still very much enjoy Justice League. I do like the chemistry between the main 6 superheroes. It would usually be 7, but there's we ain't got a good Green Lantern movie yet. I do like the soundtrack. I do like the action. Some of the effects are horrible. Steppenwolf, he is a bit of a disappointing villain. And yes, I am not a fan of Mirror Amber Heard, her little cameo, and I don't know why they're putting her in this Snyder cut. But Amber Heard, if you know about the controversy between her and Johnny Depp, you know why I'm not a fan of her anymore. Okay, if you asked me 4 years ago, 2016, or 3 years ago, actually, or last decade, I would be a fan of her if she didn't do what she did to Johnny Depp. But now, since she's crazy and she basically did all that crap to Johnny Depp, which I'm not gonna say here, I'm not a fan of Amber Heard anymore. But despite all of his problems, I enjoyed Justice League 2017. I will be doing a live watch along for its anniversary. So you only have Xbox 360. I have PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. Elliot. This is cool. Yes, I only do have Xbox 360, but it's cool. And then you have Superman and Lois, and then they basically all just sitting there watching him. And they're having him use his powers to prove that he's not a threat to them. In my opinion, it's the best DCE film, EU film. But yeah, I've only seen Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, and Shazam. Man, are you talking about Man of Steel is the best DCU film? Because I would recommend seeing Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman before the sequel comes out in December, and I will recommend Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous and Special Harley Quinn. It's not Birds of Prey is not a bad movie. It's not SJW propaganda. I'm sick and tired of people like geeks and gamers in the quarterly just going online, finding every single excuse they can to just whine about one movie they didn't like. Just say you didn't like Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn and move on.
You could have been you should shut up.
Who's she talking about? Is she talking about me?
No, she talking to me. I'm not gonna stick my hand in this hot ass body. You don't do it, so what makes you think I'm about to do it? You can see me.
And then here you have Theora. Oh, I'm talking about Justice League movies. G says, yeah. If you haven't seen the other DCEU movies, give them a watch. Aquaman is good. Birds of Prey was awesome. I'm in the minority, but I do love Birds of Prey. And Man of Steel is awesome, which is the movie we're doing a watch along right now. If you watch Batman vs Superman, watch the extended cut. Michael 10591. It's nice to see him comment on actually show up in a watch along. Man of Steel, I really enjoyed it when I saw it in IMAX, even though I left with a headache after the film was over. Oh, yeah, I can see why some people say this movie did give them a headache, but it doesn't really. I didn't see this movie, Man of Steel, until 2014 on cable. I wanted to see it when it came out, but I waited a little longer because I did get a little put off by the middling mixed reaction, which I don't get the mixed reception. This is the best Superman movie since Superman the movie, 1978. It did the origin different. It had an interesting villain. It had a good story, and this is one of the more underrated superhero movies of the last decade. And for whatever reason, people don't like the movie. It's fine, but I just don't get it. And yes, I still am hoping, just like every other fan of Man of Steel, we do get a sequel to Man of Steel. And you see that Clark is bleeding, and Superman is bleeding by Zenor's eye because his weakness kicking in. But if you read the comics, Superman, he is supposed to kryptonite, pretty much like his cousin Supergirl, which they haven't established, but it is mentioned in the novelization of the movie that Supergirl, she is the last Kryptonian right next to him, and that she exists in the DC Cinematic Universe. Have you seen Fury with Brad Pitt? Yes, I have. You have Clark and General Zod here. And you have basically you have this flashback here with General Zod and Taylor and his other leaders, and you see in this flashback that Clark is having that you are pretty, and also Chris Meloni. You see that in this flashback, this little nightmare that we do get a hint of Superman's black suit. I don't know why people hated the film now. After when Batman vs Superman came out, everyone loves Man of Steel now. Yeah, I don't get it either. And both of those movies, Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, are pretty underrated. Especially when you watch the ultimate cut of Batman vs Superman. I just don't get people nowadays that want to complain that these movies are too dark. Then so Warner Brothers hear them out with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, and they try to go lighthearted, and yet people who don't like the DCEU, you still complain. So you can't just have it both ways. You have to choose one or the other. Just the way the cinematography here in this little flashback with little dream sequence, which with Clark and General Zod is well done. You see him on his home in Smallville and in some ruins. And now here you do get a hint of Superman and his black suit, which in the comics Superman he does wear the degenerated black suit after he comes back from death. And here, this is pretty dark here for PG-13.
You know maybe we'll take a 3 day off of work for any day.
With Superman, basically, just getting put inside the skull.
But Lou got that crown royal. Uncle Frey looked in her hand. I said, put that there. I started to put that there bottom
really
bag.
dark.
But it's raining.
And there he is waking up and see that he's actually tied up. Yeah, I do agree. Like,
that's a good picture of him too. And I think his head leaned up beside Aunt Niece's. They just ain't showing it. Look, that's what he got sick to.
but yeah, fans, people nowadays, they would just anything that's not related. They used to love Zack Snyder, but now they just hate him. Especially what he did say in his tweet on Twitter, saying his movies aren't for kids. What? Not every director has to pander out to the kids. So you think scary movies pander out to kids? No, they don't. So people just need to just take a chill pill. Also taking some of Superman's DNA here. And then and Theodore is locked Amy Adams in the room, and Russell Crowe is going to come back himself and tell her how to help him. And now 59 minutes of the movie left, and she uses the little Kryptonian symbol to plug it into. I don't like Batman vs Superman personally. If you're talking about the theatrical cut or the ultimate cut, I understand completely. It's not for everybody. Especially what the movie was trying to do. People just expected a movie with Batman and Superman fighting throughout the entire movie and you didn't get it. So deal with the movie you didn't get and accept it. Some people. But if you're one of those people who didn't like Batman vs Superman, watch the ultimate cut. That does flesh out the story more. It does give you more reasoning on why Clark and Bruce want to fight each other.
She over to the people that she's kind of up in her brain. Why? What's wrong? I'll go ask the man. Do what? I'll go. I'm gonna go. I'm going. All right. Come on. I'm trying to put her brakes on.
I enjoyed BVS in the theater. I had problems with it, especially Jesse Eisenberg's over-the-top performance with the Jolly Rancher scene and the famous ding 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 jail scene was bad. I will say they do crash into an IHOP. But I could have gone without the whole over the top Lex Luthor. I do wish they would written Jesse Eisenberg to be more serious instead of like over the top. I basically have to say that it's basically David Goyer's fault as far as Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor. But I do like Chris Terrio. I do like it. Do you watch Disney Channel? Not as much as I used to, but I still enjoy Disney Channel. But I do all the stuff that comes on Disney Channel. I used to watch are from Disney Plus.
Jack, he changed the brakes. Right there.
Yeah.
They can't find it. Where he moved all the stuff around. He changed the way he moved around. And then he changed it outside Bentley, so they probably made it for where he had it.
That's not what Jack said in the yard?
So with that one?
Yeah.
The kids messed it up. That's the one Ricardo's talking about. The kids messed it up. Yeah, right. I gotta lift those up. For some reason.
And now Superman and Lois, they just crashing back to Earth. And the Superman saving her. And Lois is being saved. And their destruction caused there a little bit. You have Martha Kent getting ready to be attacked by Zod's little friends, and Superman is not going down for it.
She got a text. She got a text. Aaliyah, you could have put them on 30 seconds. They go on 25 seconds each. So you could put them on 30 seconds.
Anyway, here, Charlie, boy, you see the background.
Are you even out home?
Not yet. But they're on the way home break about to go.
How do you break in the city yesterday? Before you got in the car.
And they just destroyed the house. They're destroying the house. I hope we get Henry Cavill back as Superman someday. Well, the Titanmaster, he is staying as Superman for supporting roles. As far as the Man of Steel sequel, Warner Bros. The reason why we haven't gotten a Superman sequel yet with Cavill is because apparently Warner Bros. Think that Superman is irrelevant, but he's not irrelevant. It's not hard to just do something new with the character. And now we have all the destruction caused, and everyone is running General Zod. Dorito Chip Gamer says hello. Hello. Here at Superman and General Zod, they are fighting. And they're about to cause destruction to Krypton. Yet they crash landed into a 7-Eleven. Again, this is where I really put my defense when it comes to the destruction, because you have Superman and you have General Zod, and they're two strong, powered Kryptonian super beings with a lot of power. And if they do crash land to Earth and fight with a lot of powers, what do you expect is going to happen? There is going to be some casualties. There is going to be some destruction. So you can't really just get upset over the fact that there's no. There's a lot. You can't really get over the fact that there's a lot of destruction. What do you think is going to happen? And then the U.S. Army is pitching in and trying to stop General Zod, but they also think Superman is also causing most destruction. Air Force coming in and fight. Feora. Just this whole action scene, yeah.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Did you ever hear back about that janitorial job? I
Where you going, darling? You gonna wear?
They said they need a permanent address for the application.
You gonna wear? To get my stove.
Sorry to hear that.
How you know they don't let you go?
Hey, next time
This
you need to put that. Know that address? Here's mine.
Yep, they crash landed into IHOP, but he's not a psychopath killer, as people say. I'm sorry, he's not. And here he goes fighting Feora. Ooh. And then the family, the people in the IHOP is just sitting there. It's just watching them fight. As they just and Superman, and Christ landed into another building.
Tell me what you need,
And
and I'll go pick it up.
woohoo!
But here's the deal. I need
And
you
Christ landed and everything.
to meet me
This whole
at
fight,
the corner
there,
of
it's a cool fight. A lot of people just complain that it's just a lot of destruction, but like I said, you have all these superpower Kryptonian beings on Earth. What do you think is going to happen? And of course, most superhero movies, even your precious MCU movies, sometimes they do cause some destruction. So there's no real reason for you to just sit here and complain. Network 98 says, do you like pixels? Yes, I like pixels. I reviewed it back in 2016 on my channel. You just cause.
Baby, I'm gonna take a big meal.
Why do a lot of people hate Anti-Outfit in 2001? I don't know. I think mainly is because of some of his unpopular opinions. Like, he didn't like Skyfall. He doesn't like Knives Out. I don't know. I guess some people just want to be mean. They do the same thing with Harry Thomas. And then U.S. force is just sitting there like with their guns out ready, and Fayora just comes out and kills them all. Fayora is pretty cool. Superman's going in and fighting. Now we're 37 minutes into it.
No.
I'm trying to get him blown up.
From what I can tell, COD was acute poisoning. I won't know the exact kind until I can run further tests, but my best guess would be rodenticides, aka rat poison.
Poison what's called blood.
Because most rat poison.
Superman stopped.
Those are anticoagulants, which explains why our big hemorrhage out of all of her orifices.
What do we know, okay? Next window and Baker.
And they're still going on. And this is where Fayora basically is going to die here. And they're just throwing a rocket bomb here. And then they cause destruction here. And there she is, Fayora. Then the Kryptonian ship crashing down the U.S. Air Force.
That anymore? We're in the process of getting statements from everyone who was here. Alright. Oh, this is
And
interesting.
there she
Did you
is.
know that
She's
women
dead. Network 98. Yeah, the guy has gotten better. I'm watching Casino, rewatching Casino right now. One of Martin Scorsese's best films. My favorite movies of 2019 are Avengers Endgame, Ford v Ferrari, John Wick Chapter 3, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917. Those are some of my favorite movies last year too. If any of you didn't see my best movies of 2019, you do know what were the main top 10 were. And they all think that he's there to kill him.
Her husband, Josh, is off the island. He's coaching at a tennis camp in Hawaii. He's catching that flight back.
And this, they cross Sears. The memories. Scorsese is one of my favorite directors. I do agree. He is definitely one of the best directors working. Even in his older prime, The Irishman, and his next movie, which I'm really interested in seeing. And you see that Martha and Superman are both talking. And you see the Kent house is basically destroyed. There's Lois Lane back. And once, oh no, Farrell is still alive. Generals are his little friends there. They're going to cause destruction on Metropolis, and this is an hour and 41 minutes. Back to flashback with Superman. "41 minutes left of the movie. We've been going on for such a long time. But it's cool. But yes, Scorsese is definitely one of the best directors. One of my favorite directors. If you see my top 60 favorite directors. Now you have Harry Lennix, and his part, it was just if they're all working to try and stop Zack as well. Now they're about to go straight across straight into the waters, and then they see what was about to go on. And now they're in Metropolis, and this is where people really have problems with the destruction. But again, these are superhero powered villains and spaceships, so they are going to cause some destruction. So what do you think is going to happen? Everything's just going to be peachy keen? No. There's going to be some destruction.
Showing people how to live the life of their dreams.
on a crab, and yet you still couldn't win it by my wife.
And here it is. The rise up the water, and then one thing you have to say about Zack Snyder, he does have a visual eye for what he does. I'm probably gonna make a video ranking of the Telltale games. Okay, no, not yet. That seems. And all the destruction of the Metropolis here. That is being caused by the space there. And everyone is running. That's all the destruction in Metropolis is going on. Coming from. And you see a lot of destruction, which, again, he was just saying it's a destruction fest. People complain, you guys complain to the returns that there wasn't enough action. This movie fixed that problem, and you still can't.
Yeah, which could have made her return. Elite sellers like Gwendolyn, she's an exception to the rule. Most people that join me spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it.
Lois Lane and Harry Lennix, Rich Schiff, and Superman, they're all talking. So,
starter kits that they can't sell, and then they end up broke and totally screwed.
So, if Gwendolyn had hundreds of people selling it, then that means.
I am Shishi.
Hundreds of people. Why are you still counting on road?
Okay, no more. So the poison box glove, and it was ingested between 6 and 24 hours before time of death.
Okay, so that means we're not just looking for people in the
Well,
movie.
I'm about to come right there.
Anyone who can contact.
the characters, they're well developed in here. A movie you like that everyone hates. Just Planet Earth. Well, Spider-Man 3 is one. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. There's a lot of movies I like that everyone hates that I really do like, enjoy. With Superman flying out there. And you see all the destruction in Metropolis just it's going up and then it's going down. So this little spaceship is just doing it. The General Zod said if they didn't give him Superman, he would destroy it. And that's what he's doing. He's destroying the city. The U.S. force was going out there to go get him. Superman's out flying, and he's about to go to Metropolis and go with General Zod. And so we're 107 minutes into the movie, and 35 minutes is remaining.
Yeah, you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. She was a hoe. I would know. Wow.
And you see General Zod there. He notices that something isn't right.
Her and Philip actually date. No, she didn't.
I'm sorry, but Philip does not seem like that kind of guy.
And he just puts this.
How can you be sure that it's good for
He just puts the little Superman thing, the little Kryptonian symbol in. And you see Russell Crowe. I think Baywatch is okay. Yeah, Baywatch, I don't mind that movie. Some people don't like Baywatch, but I do enjoy it.
Twice, so damn nice.
You're a altogether.
Plug me in and watch me work.
She said that?
Yes. That's why I called your people. Bro.
Okay, well, there's only one way to find out.
Right. I'm gonna ask my mom.
Danny,
And
His mama don't know he's been creeping on the law.
U.S.
What? It's Syncopy. Just with it. No. You get something for it. Alright? Stay lame.
People in the metropolis. The run because you see destruction genocide. And they are India. Other Kryptonian villains are caught in Laurence Fishburne is telling Perry White's telling all people working David Planet to get out. And Zara is just using all his powers to missiles and rocket launchers and planes.
Service to the test.
You don't see me standing here?
No.
You see the same exact shot again that was listed in the odds of this one. Which I did like that resemblance there.
You need a stamina sub. What did she say?
She said you need a sandwich or something. Or a Sam.
You see what's Crowe and like Shannon talking.
Like that white bread, huh?
You do like the circle back and forth between Zurer and Zack.
Panic got the band new.
An hour and 51 minutes left.
Mama Eddie. She's not dead. And she's your only child. Is there something you're not telling us?
And he just destroyed. And here he goes going to Superman's location. Here Superman is running away from this monster that's trying to attack him.
The sword looking good.
He's just fighting now.
I'm about to swirl up my lunch in a second.
And Superman goes down and stops with his fist.
I am not hating, I'm hating.
And then
What are you doing?
these guys are just seeing.
Daughter named Sarah. She said she killed David Phillips.
And then she's stuck and she can't get out.
Well,
He's saying don't leave.
you heard him. I don't think so.
How can you be so sure? I confirmed. Good evening. Yes. You sure? I'm sure. You for sure, for sure.
And she says she doesn't want to die.
For sure, Dirty.
Is there any Twilight movie you like? Well, I like the first Twilight. Well, I like the Twilight Saga, but I have grown on them a little bit. They're not great movies, as I said. I think but they are some of my good pleasures. I do. The first one is watchable. It's flawed, but it's okay. Eclipse is my favorite of the Twilight Saga. I do enjoy Breaking Dawn Part 2. Twilight Saga New Moon, it is a chore to get through when I want to watch it. It is a chore to get through. And Breaking Dawn is also a bit of a chore to get through with either version, but they're okay movies. I don't think they're worse, with the exception of Twilight Saga New Moon. But yeah, I did review those movies, but looking back at them now, yeah. Nolan's not a good role model for girls, if you ask me. But Twilight movies, they're not great films, but they're a hell of a lot better than 50 Shades movies and the two after movies. I'll tell you that much. I'm just being honest.
Say what? I'll show you.
It should be interesting here.
But I'm gonna need a partner. Oh, no, this is definitely on the right foot.
You sure hope you enjoy yourself. Wait, Mom, what? Nothing. What is going on? I can't. Fine, not one thing. All right. Make sure you turn your head. Don't make a bed for it, bye. Make sure you make a bed. You make when you wake up in the morning, we'll pop your eye.
I know what do-rags inside of the tent. Turns over, you're a fuck.
Yeah, he's here.
Now we do get into the fight General Zod, and he crashes the entire plane, and Superman arrives here. And they start to fight for one last time, one last battle. But yeah, this whole final battle between Superman and Zod, I love this whole final battle, and this is going to get into a later controversial. Have I seen Andy Mack? The Disney Channel show that got canceled. Have I seen I saw a little bit of Andy Mack. It's fine. It's fine.
So what are they doing in my house?
This is free.
Free? You do know Sam and I have an arrangement, right? So he's not allowed to eat you. Get out.
Yeah. Andy Mack, I saw a few episodes of it. It is on Disney Plus. Maybe I'll finish it, but it's an okay show.
Sam, I seen you try to steal this stuff.
It's not a sausage.
Well, if that's what you're walking around here with, you need to be mad at your mate. Get out.
You see,
What a sausage.
Get out.
Traue is killing the soldiers shoot, and then Lois Lane. She takes out the whole S. He breaks the S symbol and fail. And here's Fayora. Getting ready to crash into the other spaceship, and Lois Lane gets out. And then the whole Krypton, the whole spaceship is blowing up. And we're 2 hours into the streams. Yeah, like I said, this is a long movie, but I want to thank all of you guys who are watching for actually sticking there and watching this with me. As we are about to get into the big controversial moment of the movie. Superman saving Lois, getting her to safety from this spaceship as it is blowing up. And she's safe.
All women do that. Is that why you don't eat? I ain't talking about no damn celery. I'm talking about a steak, a hamburger, beef.
My mom's always tried to lose a few pounds.
Yeah, but she's cooking now.
Superman
We're
was
already doing it now.
kissed. And they all go down there to say thank you to him, but General Zod, once again, is just going to raise hell.
She wasn't the final.
Yeah, I know it.
How bad it was when she broke up with Will.
And he has to go back there and stop him. And here's General Zod.
Show her that she's great. Just the way she is. Really saved yourself a hassle. Sorry. I just got off the phone with the family, and I'm trying to be real patient.
Fine, I'll call.
You really saved yourself a hassle.
And he's basically telling Clark that he just killed the last of his Kryptonian people. And he refuses to join his side. And Michael Shannon, he's just having fun, enjoying every minute that he makes in this movie.
Nothing special for you.
Maybe this is your birthday.
Oh, thanks, though. I know. Well, what is it?
Uh-oh.
Why so special then?
General Zod's mad. He's upset. And here we go.
We're all here for you.
The last fight between
What am I,
Zod
child
and
liver? I'm here
Superman.
too.
Now, I like his arms. This is really cool. Scratch, strong.
And so am I. Not because I slept over either. Yeah, me too.
General Zod, here he is. He's upset.
Okay.
He's got his laser
What's this about?
eyes out, and he's just short.
Show you you're special. I know you've been cooking and everything.
And he's just shooting out his lasers.
That man, but I want you to know that. Right here.
Whole fight with them, just going from city to city. It's basically what you would want in a Superman movie. What more do you want? I got a good story. I got good representation of Superman. Like I said, the only issues I really have is that there are too many flashbacks. But
Are you? Yeah, especially all that stuff she done done.
LexCorp, which ties into Lex Luthor. as I was saying, the only criticism I do have is that there are too many flashbacks. And there is a little bit too much destruction at times, but when you have, but the way I see it is like Vader 2005-91. He's an inexperienced as Superman. It's his first time on the job. So, what do you think? Which things gonna happen?
Did you remember to invite Joe and Sam?
Yeah, they're on their way over, so I can tell them.
Oh, yeah. No hits and everything, ain't no. Just a general conversation, see about their mom.
I do appreciate all the questions, but no, I haven't seen Andy Mack, Elliot. I've seen episodes of it, but it was alright. And then he just takes off his little battle armory, and here they are, going into outer space. They're going to go all the way up out of the earth. And then you do have the musical theme. Yes, it is CGI versus Superman is flying up in the air, but CGI doesn't really bother me. It is action packed with a good, and it does have a good story in my opinion. So if you don't like this movie is fine. And they're just causing destruction. Superman is just basically just whooping Zod. What do you grade the first Amazing Spider-Man? Ooh. If you see my ranking, and I did re-review it before Spider-Man Homecoming, and I did an initial review back in 2016 by Living in the Great Quality. The Amazing Spider-Man, when I first saw it, I didn't like it. Then a second watch, I liked it. I liked it a couple more times. But as I said now, it is one of my least favorite Spider-Man movies. I don't like the tone that they went for. I hate the way they did Peter Parker by making him a cool asshole type character. Also, it was just too dark for its own good. And it was a reboot that was way too early after The Amazing Spider-Man 1. But for me, The Amazing Spider-Man, it is a D plus at best. It has a few good moments, but it's not a very good movie. Yeah, I do respect your opinion. It's 7.7 out of 10. Now, this is a controversial moment that a lot of people really don't like, because this is in which Superman, he is forced to kill possibly the last Kryptonian besides Supergirl, as Zod is trying to kill his family, and this gives him no alternative but to snap his neck, which the scream, it is a bit like in Watchmen with Night Owl when Rorschach died, and you see Superman falling down on the ground in sadness and despair. But I personally like this moment because Clark, he basically has no choice. He will just let Zod cut his hands off, but you don't want to go too R-rated. And then there's the scream that, according to Zack Snyder, it woke up the murder box. So we'll see how that plays out in Justice League. But as far as the Snyder version of Justice League, I do like the 2017 version. And you see that you have Superman here, and he's talking to the U.S. Air Force. And see, Superman, he does have a bit of a sense of humor. It's just not. We haven't reached the full thing yet. That's why they are trying to get Cavill another Superman movie because, or at least fans are, because they want us. Cavill wants to play true Superman. See, it's a character progression, people. Just and Batman vs Superman. So I don't really understand the complaint that he's not joking enough. And so there we have him basically at the graveyard with his father. Just him and Martha. Clark and Martha, which again the chemistry between Cavill and Diane Lane I do really like. And we do get another flashback here. And there you go, you see both of them. Last shot of Jonathan. The entire movie.
I got all the girls. All the boys. You from Apple. I got all the girls stuff to do. I got the twins on their own way. Then she got Goyer, Zurer, Nathan.
The young
Superman. Her little boy over there, her little boy over here, her son over here. The other people. Her Barbara over there, because she was over here.
How was your date? Fine. You sure?
It's supposed to rain at 5 o'clock.
Jack said he saw you and your heel was broken. You were crying. You're doing it!
And now you see her who first working as David Blaine.
You're on your own, dude.
See, he gets to look at David Planet, so and he puts on the glasses and our last saw the movie here.
You okay? I was actually hoping that you wouldn't.
Lovely. Tao Akamoto. Oh no, it's not. That's not the Asian girl. Perry White.
Left me on the side of the road because
Clark Kent. Hello, my friend Josh. I just got here. Now, how are you? Well, hello. I'm doing good. Indiana Cat 88 CAG. Or Tiffany Green, who was here on the Wonder Woman. We're just wrapping up Man of Steel, which now is a title card. It's okay if you were late here, but you can always go back and watch the playback. Directed by Zack Snyder, screenplay by David S. Goyer, story by David S. Goyer and Chris Nolan, produced by Charles Roven. As for final thoughts, well, I'm doing good, Tiffany. I'm doing good. How are you? Now, as for my final thoughts on it, Man of Steel, I think Man of Steel is the best Superman movie we've gotten since the original film back in 1978. I think this is a very underrated film. Henry Cavill does a great job. Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Laurence Fishburne, the entire cast does a great job. Great story by Hans Zimmer. Awesome special effects, and it's a nice new interpretation of Superman. It was went in its own direction. It didn't try to be the original. While the vision that Zack Snyder had for this movie may not have worked for everybody, it did work for people who actually want something different after Superman returns. I love Man of Steel, Tiffany. Thank you. I'm good too. Thanks. You're welcome, my friend. Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Antje Traue, Christopher Meloni, and I do hope that we do get an announcement for Man of Steel 2 down the line. Ayelet Zurer. But yeah, this is a great film. So we're gonna sit here and watch the credits. If you guys have any remaining questions before I end it here, feel free to ask me now. And here's the Superman emboss. But I have done live stream commentaries for watch-alongs for Batman vs Superman 4 years ago, Suicide Squad, and recently, a few months ago, Wonder Woman. So if you want to check those out, I also will link my review for Man of Steel in the description card down below. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. So as far as what's coming next to the channel, next for the channel, I do have the remainder of my Christopher Nolan reviews for following Memento, Insomnia, and Tenet, which I got to see early, but I didn't Lana Lane. But I haven't really uploaded it yet. And also my Dark Knight trilogy ranking and my Christopher Nolan trilogy ranking. I will also have my ranking for the Mulan movies coming, and as well as my review of that. My reviews for Rogue, the one and only Ivan, the babysitter. Plenty more watch-alongs coming. Expect my early reviews for Ava and After We Collided, because that is going to be a rant. So that is coming. Also, stick around for a rant watch-along for After coming sometime tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. You guys keep it cool. Join the Actassinus. All my social media links are in the description box down below. If you want to send money to my chime or send fan mail, you can do that as well. And be sure to tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of the movie? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you are someone who hated the movie or just think this movie didn't work for you, tell me why. Even if you want a paragraph. Same people. And as long as you respect my opinion, I'll respect yours. And with that being said, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Please be sure to thank you for watching. Like, comment, and share. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified when new videos and live streams are up. Otherwise, you're not going to get every single notification. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.